how the immigrants use the American system to help their families. My dear PewDiePie, first of all, remember where the fuck you come from. Okay, porca la puttana? All of America was born on immigration. Nobody talks about the history of Italian immigrants to America. We were literally considered objects. We built the entire country. Look at the pictures of the skyscrapers being built in New York. Yeah, that was us, the Italians. But the same thing now is all with the Latino. Most of construction workers in America are Latino, and they do exactly the same. They build your country and then they send the money back to their families. Because it is much more efficient for them to earn money in dollars and then send the money back, because that dollar can be used much more than the money that is used in South America. Look at Venezuela, look at Argentina, super inflation, losing money and everything. Use the US dollar and save your family. So are they using America? No, they're not. They're actually saving America because none of the Americans want to do construction work. And I'm the perfect example. I buy old houses that nobody wants to buy and nobody wants to work on because the average American is lazy. The average American wants an office job, wants to be sitting on a computer, do absolutely nothing, which by the way is more stressful than doing construction. And
He is hitting on some very, very key and important facts. These are facts. This is not something made up or just some guy on the internet spewing information for likes. This is the truth. America is a country of immigrants. The only people that actually belong on this actual piece of land or continent or whatever you want to call it were the Native Americans. They were here first. Everyone else, even from the black people that were forced over here on slave ships to his Italian family or whatever came over, they all came over as immigrants and made their mark here in the United States. But the problem is that now you have this one group, which is the majority, that think that they own any and everything that America was built on. And America was not built on this one race of, or I'm gonna say color of people. It was built as a country of immigrants. That's how America got its start.
the people actually want to get their hands dirty, fix up the houses that they need. Ever wonder why the home prices are doubling in the arch of 3 years? Because people are not building. Because it's getting expensive. Because there's not enough people that want to build. Here I am, using America, actually providing a service that you guys need. If it wasn't for people like us, your home prices would be even worse right now. Making some money, actually renting and selling at under market rent. I could be making even more money than I wanted right now. Because of the business model I have, I choose to actually fight against high rents, my dear PewDiePie. And whenever I can, after 2 years of working there and getting my hands dirty and never taking a day off, now I'm in Italy for 4 months, spending all the money. My kid is spending all the money. Cost of life is $1,000 a month. That's 1 week worth of work in America, come on. Chill the fuck out. Also, I don't talk shit about America. I wake Americans up about how cool of a system they live in and try to teach them how to wake up and actually use the system they live in. Because Italy is beautiful, look at this, this place is beautiful. But it does not give you the tools like America does to actually make yourself a better person. God gave you a brain, for whichever thing you'll believe in. Use it, porca puttana.
Man, is this guy's preaching. And I think that over I'm going to say the next 10 to 20 years, America is going to go through this great renaissance where the average American, not the 1%, but the average American is going to figure out how to survive, pivot, shift, and move, and how to possibly live abroad or extend beyond the borders of here in the United States, because the way that the middle class is starting to shrink, you will either be rich or poor. And if you get caught in between, you are going to be thrusted or shifted over to the poor side. But the free thinking Americans that use common sense and pay attention to what's going on, those will be the ones that will be able to figure out how to pull their family out of that momentum that's going poor and at least shift towards or get towards that 1% of the super rich. But what's happening is that the US government is starting to embrace us being a country of consumers. Consume, consume, consume. That's why they are pivoting so hard to AI, artificial intelligence. And in turn, that's going to put more pressure on middle class Americans and middle class families in the United States. But that's the whole point. That's the whole reason why this is going on. And right now, the the shortage of housing, that's something that is only going to be addressed through inflation and through them being able to somehow build more housing. But the problem is that that has gotten so bad out of control that it's going to at some point have to be a reset. They won't be able to maintain the trajectory they are on now to keep that up. There will be a great financial reset in the next 3 to 4 years, and that will ultimately help because we do need a reset. But at the same time, after we get that reset, the country is going to be knee deep into the transition that it is already going into. Hence, that's why they are revamping the banking system. You got digital dollar, you got cryptocurrencies, that's why everything is going digital, because the banks are starting to realize that, okay, as the middle class shrinks, we won't be able to make as much money off of banking products like bogus loan, high interest rate, car loans and stuff like that. So we have to get more efficient. And the way we get more efficient is we have faster processing times. People will be able to instantly send money across the world. And now that the world is waking up to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, eventually um the senators and the congressmen and congresswomen were trying to fight it because the banks were paying them to fight it. And but now they've realized, okay, this is something we cannot control. We have to just conform and adapt and get on with the program. Because just for instance, if I needed to send $500,000 in Ethereum or Bitcoin, or if I can send $100 million in USDC, which is a digital stable coin, within a few seconds, and it only cost me pennies. I can do that now. And so the banks are starting to get hip to that and like, okay, well, we gotta get control of this before we get left behind. So as the United States transitions to AI and AI taking jobs and the middle class shrinking and this, that, and the other, Americans are going to have to do what they've always done, and that's learn how to pivot, survive, and take advantage of the system you've been placed in the middle of. All of that going out, and I'm not taking anything from anybody that votes Democrat or Republican. But now it's time for people to pay attention to what's going on and start pivoting and stop running up there voting thinking that that's going to change your life. In a video I mentioned earlier, people in developing countries don't rely on their government to do anything for them. They get out, make it happen, and figure out on their own. And that's what Americans are going to have to do, because it's so much bickering and fighting going on up in Washington that the American people have been kind of thrown and thrusted to the side. So everybody just need to figure out how to survive and stop wasting time arguing about politics, because they all have the same agenda, the same plan, and they all accepting donations from the same companies, organizations, and people. Pay attention to what's going on, get with the program, move and shift and survive. But y'all let me know what you think. I appreciate all the support. We heading towards 100K subscribers. I know we can do it. Everyone have a blessed day.